Okay. Please join on YouTube, those who are on Teams. Okay. So we'll talk about diffusion today. You might have heard of diffusion in your high school or even before that. That if you have particles, let us say you have two regions of a chamber, okay, and in one side you have lots and lots of particles, and on the other side you have a few particles. Okay, what happens in that case? That you have particles that get transmitted from the left hand side to the right hand side, or from the region of higher concentration to region of lower concentration. The same thing happens in electronic devices also, where the similar phenomena happens between with electrons and holes as well. Okay, they do not interact with each other, but they interact with the particles of their own kind. Okay, so electrons can electrons go from regions of higher concentration to regions of lower concentration, and that happens vice versa also. Similar thing happens with holes also. Today my mind is on your technical problems, but in any case I should focus on teaching right now. Okay. Let us not worry about the technicalities. Yeah. So we have the equation for diffusion does not change too much from going from mechanical particles to electronic particles. Okay, in mechanical systems or in thermodynamics, you might have seen the equation for diffusion. We'll have a similar equation for diffusion over here. So flux, okay, flux of electrons is given by dn by dx. Okay, this is the equation that defines flux of electrons. Okay, what is flux? You might have heard of the term flux. What is flux? Anyway, I don't think there are too many people on Teams today, so let us not ask too many questions from you guys. So flux is number of particles per unit area per unit time. Okay, so if I tell you that this is the number of particles per unit area per unit time, you can easily find out that your diffusivity, the unit of diffusivity is given by centimeter square per second. Okay, so if this is centimeter square per second, what will be the unit of flux? If you put that over there, the unit of flux is going to be centimeter square per second multiplied by dn. N is centimeter to the power -3 per centimeter cube. Okay, and what is dx? Centimeter. So centimeter, this becomes -1. Okay, so -1, this finally becomes 1 over centimeter square second. Okay, which is what we said. Flux of electrons is, so flux of electrons is given by is the number of electrons that are traveling through a surface area per unit time. Okay, per unit area. So that is your flux. So this is the equation for flux. If you know flux, you can write down the current. What will be the current? So we know that if flux is in this direction, the current from due to electrons is going to be in the direction opposite to it. Why will that happen? Because electrons have negative charge. Okay, if electrons are traveling from left hand side to the right hand side, the current is going to be from the right hand side to the left hand side. Okay, so that is J n is equal to minus E Fn. Okay. I made a mistake in the beginning. Flux will not be defined like this. Flux will be defined like this. Okay, there will be a minus sign in the flux. Why will the minus sign be there? So if you think about it, if let us say that this is your x and this is your concentration n. Okay, if your concentration goes like this, what happens? Your electrons are going to travel from the regions of higher concentration to the regions of lower concentration. So electrons will travel in this direction. Okay, so flux is going to be in this direction. And what is your slope? Slope here is negative. Okay, so if you get a negative slope, you'll get a positive flux. Okay, so I made a mistake in the beginning. So flux is going to be minus dN times dN by dx. Okay, so if this is your Jn is minus E times Fn. This will be so Jn can be written as E dN by dx. Okay, and this Jn is due to diffusion. Okay, Jn diffusion is E times dN by dx. Now we can similarly write the equation for holes. So what will be the difference between this equation and the equation for holes? What will be flux for holes? If let us say I replace this by P. Okay, what will be Fp? Fp will in the similar direction. Okay, so Fp is going to be exactly the same as Fn. It does not matter. See, diffusion does not depend on charge. Okay, diffusion only depends on the number of particles. So if the number of particles is becoming lower as you are moving in higher in x, so your flux is again going to be positive if your dp by dx. If your dp by dx is negative, your flux is going to be positive. Okay, if flux is positive, what do you have? So again we'll have the same equation, Fp is equal to minus dp into dp by dx. But there will be one difference. Once we go from flux to current, okay, if flux P is in this direction, if Fp is in this direction, which direction will your Jp be? Jp will be in the same direction as your Jp will have exactly the same direction as your flux. Okay, because holes are positively charged. Okay, so Jp diffusion is equal to minus E dp into dp by dx. Okay, this is your Jn drift, which has a positive sign in front because electrons have negative charge. So that minus E neutralizes the minus from Fn. Okay, but here we do not have a minus E. We multiply this Fp by positive E. So we get a minus sign in the Jp diffusion also. So if Jp diffusion is this, your what? Now J diffusion can be written as E times dN by dx minus E times dp by dx. So that becomes your J diffusion, and we had previously written down J drift. I don't think I had written down the total sum of that, but it does not really matter. We can write it down right now. So N E mu N E plus P E mu P times E. Okay, that is your J drift. Okay, so that is your J drift and J diffusion. So total your current is going to be J diffusion plus J drift. So now if you have this diffusion plus drift, this will give you your total current. So effectively almost always in all classical devices, this is what we calculate. Okay, we try to calculate our diffusion current, we try to calculate our drift current, and we add these together to get our net current. Okay, so now let us talk about a specific device. Okay, we are given a piece of semiconductor, okay, which has variable doping. Okay, till now all the semiconductors that we have studied till today have been semiconductors with uniform doping. Okay, we assume that the doping is uniform everywhere, but let us say that we have a piece of semiconductor where the doping, instead of being uniform, it is non-uniform, and so this is my EF. Okay, this dotted line is my EI, this is my EF, this is EV, and this is EC. Okay. Now our Fermi level is in so our semiconductor, the piece of semiconductor. So we have a piece of silicon, okay, and in this piece of silicon, it is in thermal equilibrium. So we already know, not we do not really know, but in thermal equilibrium, your Fermi level is constant. Okay, in a device or in a system, the Fermi level, all the parts that are in contact with each other, the Fermi level is going to be constant throughout. Okay, it is sort of beyond the scope of this particular course, but Fermi level is a little bit something related to something called as chemical potential. Okay, the chemical potential stays the same throughout the material once we are in thermal equilibrium. Okay, I'll give you an intuition of why Fermi level stays constant later on when we study a little bit of p-n junction. Okay, that will make it a little more clear, but it is not really that obvious why the Fermi level should stay constant. But I'll give you some intuition. But hold on for a few more classes. For now, you can assume okay, in thermal equilibrium, Fermi level stays constant. Okay, all the other things can change. The only thing that we definitely know in thermal equilibrium is that Fermi level is going to be constant. Okay, this stays constant in equilibrium throughout your semiconductor, throughout the material or device. Okay, device may have multiple materials also. Okay, it stays constant. It's a flat line. Okay, so if you look at it from the left hand side to the right hand side, what is happening to your Fermi level? Your Fermi level is constant, but what is happening to your EF minus EI? What is happening? Your EF minus EI is becoming smaller and smaller. Okay, or if you want to look at the difference between EC minus EF, okay, EC minus EF. What is happening to EC minus EF? On the left hand side, it was very close to your conduction band, and as you are moving away to the right hand side, what is happening to EC minus EF? It is becoming larger and larger. That means your semiconductor is becoming less and less n-type. So on this side, you have means high n doping, and on the right hand side, you have low n doping. Okay, so when you are moving from the left hand side to the right hand side, you are changing your carrier concentration in such a manner that you get a straight line as your conduction band, and again a straight line as your valence band, and the distance between these is linearly changing. The EC minus EF is linearly changing. Okay, so yeah, any question?
Sir, but we used to say that when we dope a material, the Fermi level moves up or down. But you are saying that Fermi level will remain constant now. Like we used to assume that EC and EV are constant and EF is moving up or down. Like EI, EC, EV are all same. They are not moving.
So when I say constant, I mean constant in this direction. Okay, in x direction. Okay, it is the same everywhere. Now let me not say constant. Let me use a different word. It is the same in equilibrium throughout your semiconductor. Okay, it is the same everywhere. Okay, it will be a flat line. Okay, it can move up or down. That is not a problem. Okay, but throughout the material, it is going to be a flat line. Do you understand now?
Okay, sir. Here we are talking about the material. Like we have doped the material differently in different part. So you are saying that Fermi level will remain same because of that.
Yeah. If you are in equilibrium, then the Fermi level is going to stay constant throughout.
And
Constant means same throughout. Okay, it can move up or down, but it will move up equally in both in every place, and it will come down equally in every place as long as we are in thermal equilibrium.
and sir, why EC and EV are changing, like with doping?
Why EC and EV are changing?
Yes, sir. Sir, we assumed them to be constant earlier when we were doing earlier, like in extrinsic as well as intrinsic semiconductors.
Yeah.
We were taking them that they are not changing, like they are always EC and EV are not changing.
No, they are not changing now also.
Sir,
The
we have.
distance, the distance between these two stays the same. Okay, throughout your material, Eg stays the same through means everywhere, because we are the same material. This is silicon everywhere, so it will say stay Eg everywhere. Okay, the distance. So there these all three lines EI, EA, EC, and EV all are parallel to each other.
Yes, sir. But sir, why EC is increasing with low doping in low doping in case of low doping?
Why EC is increasing?
Yes, sir.
See, we have established, please understand that these are models, okay? We are trying to explain a physical phenomena. The physical phenomena, something that should happen is that the Fermi level should stay constant. Okay, let us assume that for a moment. Okay? It should stay this flat line. Okay? And now on the right hand side, you have very few number of free electrons. And on the left hand side, you have a large number of free electrons. So how is that going to be, how can that be modeled?
Okay, okay. Okay, sir. Yes. Then it will be same.
Okay?
Yeah, yeah. Got your
So
point. Yes.
let us start with this assumption. We'll worry about this why this happens later on. Not really seriously, honestly speaking. We'll not really explain it too much because it's not. I don't know much about why this happens, but I have some intuition. I'll give that intuition to you guys. Okay. It is a little more chemistry involved over here, and my chemistry is not that great. Okay. So we have. What? कहाँ पे थे हम लोग? Yeah. So if this is a straight line, okay, can you do a calculation? Let us say on the left hand side, your ND on the left, the distance here, this is, let us say it is 2 microns. Okay, the distance here on the x side is 2 microns. ND on the left hand side is 10 to power let's say 18 per centimeter cube, and ND on the right hand side is 10 to power 13 per centimeter cube. Okay, now can you calculate ND as a function of x? So ND 0 is given to you and ND 2 microns is given to you. Can you calculate ND as a function of x? Please calculate it. I have fixed the problem on Teams, so if anybody wants to come back to Teams, you can do that. Okay. So can you tell me what will be the value of NDX? Anybody? Arush? मानव कर लिया कैलकुलेट? कोई नहीं, सुनाई नहीं दे रहा क्या? आरुष, सुनाई दे रहा है क्या?
यस सर, यस सर, यस सर, सुन रहा है सर।
हाँ,
यस सर, यू आर ऑडिबल सर।
ओके.
सुन रहा है, एकदम सुन रहा है।
So Rochak is writing on YouTube 10 to power 18 minus 5x by 2. So let us first write down what will be my EC minus EF, or or we could write down what will be the value of EI minus, sorry, EF minus EI. Okay, if I find this out, I can write down what will be my NDX. So EF minus EI की equation क्या होगी? So EF is obviously constant and EI is a function of x. Okay, EF minus EI, so that is your and कैसे लिखेंगे हम ये इक्वेशन? y1 minus y2, so EF minus EI is your one function. Okay, I want to write down the equation y is equal to mx plus c, or y minus y1 over y2 minus y1 is equal to x minus x1 over x2 minus x1. ये होती है स्ट्रेट लाइन की इक्वेशन. सही है गलत है? बताओ भाई.
सही है सर.
सही है. So let us say y1 is on the left hand side. So this is my function. Okay, y1. Okay. So on the left hand side we have EF minus EI one, okay, or 0 if you want to call it. यार मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ?
सर आपने हमको एनडी दिया है सर, तो आप उससे फिर ईएक्स का कैसे रिलेशन निकालेंगे? मतलब सर एनडी तो हम,
क्या?
मतलब सर आपने तो हमको एनडी 0 और एनडी 2 माइक्रोन दिया है. इसकी जगह सर ये हमें वो दिया होगा, ईएफ की वैल्यू यदि दे रखी होगी इन वैल्यूज के ऊपर, तो हम मतलब स्ट्रेट लाइन की इक्वेशन बना सकते हैं ना इसके लिए.
स्ट्रेट लाइन इक्वेशन कैसे बनाओगे?
सर मतलब मैं ये समझ नहीं पा रहा हूँ कि EF माइनस EIX की यदि हमने इक्वेशन बना भी ली,
हाँ.
तो फिर ND 0 और ND 2 माइक्रोन इनको कैसे यूज करेंगे?
एनडी से कैसे रिलेट करेंगे उसको?
हाँ हाँ,
अभी आएगा समझ में. अभी हम we know that this is a straight line. Okay, my EC, my this function EC minus EF is a straight line. Okay, or EF minus EI is a straight line. Okay, the function EF minus EI is a straight line. So if I और मुझे यहाँ पर पता है EF minus EI की वैल्यू कितनी है? कितनी है यहाँ पर EF minus EI की वैल्यू? कैलकुलेट करी क्या? क्या होगी लेफ्ट हैंड साइड में? कैसे निकालेंगे? बताओ भाई. ND, you can assume that complete ionization is happening. Okay, so if you know ND, you know N. If you know N, you can find out the value of EF minus EI. क्या होगी? क्या होगी भाई?
सर NI भी तो पता होना चाहिए.
यार सिलिकॉन है, रूम टेम्परेचर है, NI तुम्हें पता है.
KT ln N0 by NI हो जाएगी.
Yeah, what is the value? What is the value? So EF minus EI at 0 is how much? कितना है? कितना EF minus EI at 0?
KT ln n naught by ni होती है।
यार वो तो पता है, लेकिन वैल्यू क्या है उसकी, क्या कैलकुलेट करके क्या आया? कोई नहीं।
सर EF माइनस EI की वैल्यू 0.466 आ रहा है।
0.466.
यस।
Okay. So EF minus EI at 0 is 0.466 electron volts. Okay.
यस सर।
And what is the EF minus EI at 2 microns? EF minus EI at 2 microns is how much? क्या आया?
सर 0.168।
168. Okay, good. Thank you very much. So we know the value of EF minus EI over here. We know the value of EF minus EI over here. So we can find out the equation. Okay, हमारी equation क्या होगी? EF minus EI x over minus 1 ले लेते हैं इसको. Okay, let us say this is one side and this is two side. So minus y1 की वैल्यू क्या है? 0.466 divided by 0.168 minus 0.466 is equal to x minus x1. x1 की value is 0, and on the right hand side we have 2 microns minus 0. Okay, that is your equation. Okay, EF minus EI x minus 0.466. You'll don't worry about it. हमने ND से हम इस बात को क्यों कैलकुलेट कर रहे हैं अभी समझ में आ जाएगा. क्यों इसलिए कर रहे हैं क्योंकि हमें जो रिलेशन पता है, we know the values of ND and ND over here. Okay, on the left hand side and the right hand side we know, but we do not know what is happening in the middle. Okay, but we know that our band, the distance between EF and EI is changing linearly. Okay, so using that we first found out the value of EF minus EI over here, EF minus EI over here, then we wrote down the equation in EF minus EI. Okay, अगर इसको तुम पूरा सब सॉल्व करोगे तो क्या आएगा? क्या आ रहा है? So instead of, yeah, go ahead. Anybody wants to do that? So this gives you, so using this you can say your EF minus EI x is equal to x over 2. Okay, again x is in microns. Okay, x in microns over 2. Okay, so you have to write x in micrometers. Okay, please write x in micrometer. Okay, x by 2 into, इसकी वैल्यू क्या है? 0.466. इसको 0.468 मान लेते हैं. ठीक है, तो 0.3 अप्रॉक्सीमेटली 0.3 और 0.298 माइनस 0.298 प्लस 0.466. Is that okay? So EF minus EI is a function. EF minus EI is a function of x given by this. Okay, if you know this, if you know EF minus EI as a function of x, can you find out the value of ND as a function of x or n as a function of x? Can you do that?
Yes, sir. We will put that in exponential.
So ND, we already know that. Assuming that we have complete ionization, KT ln ND over Ni is equal to EF minus EI x. Okay. So I am going to erase this whole thing. किसको erase कर दूं मैं? ऊपर वाले को कर देता हूँ. So if you have this equation, you can say that ND ND is equal to Ni e to the power EF minus EI x over KT. Okay, so let me not write e to the power, let me write exponential x or minus 0.149 x plus 0.466 divided by KT. Is that okay? Where x is given in microns. Okay, so that is your ND as a function of x. ठीक है, अब तुम्हारे पास ND एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ x आ गया, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? मैंने अभी अभी जो इरेज किया था वही यूज़ करेंगे, लेकिन क्या किया जाए, अब स्टुपिडिटी हो गई है तो हो गई है. क्या करना होगा हमें? व्हाट डू वी हैव टू डू नाउ वंस आई नो ND एज अ फंक्शन ऑफ x?
यही तो निकालना था ना सर.
आई कैन अप्लाई कौन सी इक्वेशन? We have not applied any, so please understand that this semiconductor is in equilibrium. Okay, this semiconductor is in equilibrium, so I have not applied any external voltages. If I have not applied any external voltages, what is your electric field here? It is going to be 0. ठीक है, electric field is 0, so your drift current is going to be 0. ठीक है, but we will have some diffusion current. Why will there be a diffusion current? Rudraksh?
Sir, because of difference in concentration.
Yeah, difference in concentration. Our concentration is higher on the left hand side and we have a lower concentration on the right hand side of electrons. Okay, what about holes?
Sir, their concentration will also be different.
There will be different. How on the left hand side we will have less holes, on the right hand side we will have more holes. Okay, so let us do the two calculations. So please find out what will be your diffusion current of both electrons and holes. Please do that calculation. We are assuming complete ionization. Okay, so NDX is going to be almost equal to NX.
Sir, dp and dn value we know.
What?
dp and dn.
Okay, we do not know those right now. Okay, yeah, we know that. You know what? Let us say that the value of dp and dn. Let me write those down. Okay.
They are just constant value, na? So we
Yeah,
have
they are
to-
constants. dp and dn are constants. Okay, but I'll give you the exact values in a moment. So dn is 25 centimeter square per second. Okay, and dp has the same ratio as your mobility. Okay, so so please use that to find out the value of dp. Okay, mu p by mu n is equal to dp by dn. Okay, so please use that to calculate the value of dp. क्या आएगी? हाँ
8.88.
8.8. Okay, so you will be able to calculate the value of, इससे हम क्या निकाल लेंगे? n is a function of x. Okay, if I know n is a function of x, what can I do? क्या कर सकता हूँ मैं? I can write down Jn diffusion. Okay, Jn diffusion is going to be how much? It will be what? E times dn by dx. Okay, and I already know from here. Okay, so I'll just do a differentiation and it will be all the same function multiplied by a constant. Okay, it will be the same function multiplied by this constant. Okay, that is all the value of Jn diffusion is going to be. Okay, and how do you find out Jp diffusion? If you know nx, what do you know? अगर तुम्हें nx पता है तो तुम्हें क्या पता है? px पता है? Okay, what is the value of px?
Ni square by
Ni square, which is a constant over x or anywhere when if you are in equilibrium, divided by nx. So if you use this, you can find out the value of px, and similarly you can apply this equation. Once you get this, you will get Jp diffusion is equal to e minus e times dp over dx. Okay. So if you were to multiply by this, okay, if you were to multiply by this, what will you get over here on the Jn diffusion side? क्या आएगा हमारा? It will be E times dn times, if you multiply this dn by dx, you will get the same as, if you take a differentiation of dn by dx, you will get nx. Okay, you'll get nx multiplied by a constant. Let us say that constant is, क्या constant आएगा हमारा? minus 0.41149 divided by kt. ठीक है, ये constant आएगा ना हमारा? Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, if you differentiate this, you are going to get this. Okay. So now, what will be your, so ये drift current आ गया तुम्हारा. So drift current is in which direction? Nx is obviously a positive quantity, dn is positive, E is positive. So your drift current is going to be in which direction?
2 to 0.
Huh?
2 to 0 मतलब negative x.
Negative direction. Okay. Gn is going
सर
to be,
जब डिफरेंशिएट करेंगे तो एक माइनस बाहर भी आएगा, वो माइनस एक्स के साथ.
ये डिफरेंशिएशन के बाद ही तो आया माइनस.
मींस
ये वाला जो माइनस साइन है वो डिफरेंशिएशन की वजह से ही तो है.
ओके सर, मींस जे डिफ में आएगा सर एक बाहर, क्योंकि माइनस 1.49x.
हाँ, उसी की तो कह रहा हूँ मैं. ये माइनस है ना इधर.
ओके, यस सर, यस सर, गॉट इट.
माइनस साइन मैंने ब्रैकेट में लिखा तो हुआ है, तो तुम माइनस साइन आगे लगा लो, एक ही बात है यार. ठीक है. So your Jn is going to be from the right hand side to the left hand, and you can think of it physically also. Physically, what is going to happen? Your electrons are going to travel from the left hand side because you have higher concentration to the right hand side. If the electrons are traveling from the left to right, your current is going to be from right to left. Okay, so your Jn is going to be in this direction. अब सोचो हमारे पास क्या है, एक सेमीकंडक्टर है या एक मटेरियल है, दुनिया का कोई भी. वी हैव अ मटेरियल. आई फॉरगॉट कि मैं अपनी क्लास में नहीं हूँ, तो आई वाज स्पीकिंग इन हिंदी. डोंट वरी अबाउट इट इफ यू डोंट अंडरस्टैंड इट. आई विल रिपीट इट अगेन in English. So if you have a material in which electrons are electronic current is going from right to left. कब तक चलेगा ये current, कहाँ जाएगा इसके बाद? Where will it go? If there is a current going from this side to this side, your semiconductor is not connected to anything. Okay, your semiconductor is not connected to anything. What should happen? ऐसा हो सकता है? Can it happen? कि you have current flowing in this direction. अब इसके बाद यहाँ इसके बाद क्या होगा उस current का? Please remember Kirchhoff's current law, or in any system, the current coming in at a point should be equal to the current going out. Okay, what happens over here?
Electrons will pile up.
Pile up. Okay, electrons will pile up at this point. How long will they pile up?
They'll be pushed back. So like a field will be generated.
Huh?
As long as they can come in, they'll keep coming in. After that, they'll stop.
So if your electrons
Like there will be a repulsion because of the
See,
electrons there.
we do not have an infinite source on this side. We do not have an infinite source on this side. Okay, or on this side. We are talking about, let us talk about flux for now. Okay, let us talk about flux. Fn is in this direction. We do not have a source of electrons over here. The electrons which are coming on this side, on the right hand side, are coming from the left hand side. So if they come from the left hand side, what are they going to leave behind? अगर मेरे इलेक्ट्रॉन यहाँ से यहाँ चले गए तो यहाँ पर क्या होगा?
Holes.
There will be a vacancy of electrons over here in this region if some electrons leave. Okay, हमारा जो original semiconductor था, okay, we had a piece of silicon, okay, which was n-type. Okay, and n-type silicon has what? A lots of free electrons. You have a lots of free electrons and a lot of what? Equal number of what? If you have free electrons, और क्या होता है हमारे पास? Forget about holes for now. Let us forget about holes for now. What do you have?
Donor ion.
Equal number of donor ions. Okay, so I am going to draw those donor ions with a positive symbol because they are positively charged, and I'll draw a circle around them. What does this circle imply? Circle implies that they cannot move. They are bound up. Okay, they cannot move. Okay, now electrons from the left hand side. Electrons from the left hand side have left the left. Okay, if they have left the left and we move to the right, then what are they going to leave behind?
These positive ion.
They are going to leave behind some electrons. If they move from here to here, you will have more negative charges on the right hand side, but they will also leave behind positive charges on the left hand side. If they leave behind positive charges on the left hand side, what is that going to create? Previously, your semiconductor was neutral throughout. Okay, on the left hand side, you had equal number of positive ions and negative electrons. Now you do no longer have that situation. Means the overall semiconductor is neutral. Okay, but spatially, if you were to look at different regions of the semiconductor, the left hand side is positively charged and the right hand side is negatively charged. What is that going to do? Okay, करेगी?
Reduce the current, diffusion current by repelling.
So if you have a positive charge on the left hand side and a negative charge on the right hand side, although you are not externally applying any electric field, but because of diffusion, your particles have moved from left hand side to the right hand side, they have created a charge separation. Okay, you have a positive charge on this side and you have a negative charge on this side. What is that going to do? That is going to create an electric field. Okay, an internally induced electric field because of the movement due to diffusion. Okay, you will have an electric field in this direction. Okay, if you have that electric field, what is that going to do? So the flux due to diffusion, okay, flux due to diffusion was in this direction. Okay, flux of electrons due to diffusion was from the left to right. Now what will be the flux due to drift? In which direction will that be? Since your electric field is in this direction, from the left to the right, your what? your flux is going to be in the from right to left. Okay, due to drift, your flux will be in the right to left direction. Okay, so in this world, what should happen? This is a closed system, okay, which is in thermal equilibrium. What should happen to this particular flux? किसका क्या होना चाहिए? मतलब ये दोनों fluxes में क्या relation होना चाहिए?
They should be equal.
They should be equal. Okay, they are in opposite directions and they should be equal. Why? Because the current at, please understand that if you look at this particular point, if you look at this point, what is the current over here? What is the current at the border? What is the current? Anybody? Just at the border. This is not connected to the outside world. So what should be the current? Equilibrium. Come on.
Zero.
Huh?
Zero.
Zero.
Zero, sir.
So if the current is zero over here, Kirchhoff's current law says that if you know current at one point in a device, you know the current everywhere in that device. Okay, as long as it is not, there is no wire coming out. Okay, so if you have a system like this, okay, you have a system here, this voltage is zero. Okay, if you know current at this point, you know current over here, everywhere the current should be exactly the same. So if the current here is zero, the current inside at this point should also be zero. Okay, so if the current is zero over here, we know that we have two kinds of current, drift current and diffusion current. Since they both have opposite directions, what is that going to do? The two of them should be equal. So your J and drift.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, we have practical of engineering drawing from 2 to 2 p.m.
Okay, then we'll stop. We'll continue from here in the next class. Okay, thank you. If anybody has a question and they want to stay and ask me a question, I can answer that. Otherwise, we'll
Sir?
stop. Yeah, go ahead.
Sir, actually I have a question in the octave assignment.
What is the question?
Sir, the first question is a bit confusing. We haven't understood what to do with it.
You did not understand what to do.
No, sir.
What is the question? Let me see. I usually write very complex questions that are difficult to understand for most people. Any case, where is it? Other two questions are from the book, so I can understand that you will understand those. But for what is the question? Yeah. So the question is, so effectively what I am asking in that question, so please try to understand around that. So basically I am asking ki you take the product of GC and FE. Okay, GC and FE both in the conduction band and in the valence band. So if you remember, we had plotted something like this. Okay, something of this kind we had plotted for GC into FE. So this is GC E into FE, and this is GVE into 1 minus FFE. Okay, these were the two plots that we had plotted, and the total number of electrons was the integration of GCE into FE with respect to energy, and the total number of holes was the integration of this with respect to energy. Okay, so when we had done the calculation, the closed form expression calculation, we had assumed FFE to be equal to what? The Boltzmann approximation. Okay, so essentially I'm asking you to compare those two results. Okay, compare, assuming that FFE is your Fermi-Dirac function. Okay, using that, please calculate this, and also calculate it using your Boltzmann approximation and see what is the difference between the two. Okay, that is the basic essence of the question.
Sir, can we do the integration using the built-in functions in octave?
Yeah, you can do that, but I think it will be better if you do it from the first principle, so that you also learn what Octave is doing behind the scenes. Do you understand?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else has a question?
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, the question which I earlier asked on Moodle about that graph with respect to EV minus E or EC minus with respect to that. So, sir, can we take any arbitrary value and shift the graph, or we need to be specific with the material value?
No. As long as your EG is correct, it does not really matter. Okay, you can choose any value as 0. Your EG should be correct. The distance between EC and EF should be correct. EC and not EF, EC and EV should be correct. Okay, other than that, you can choose any value as 0. Okay?
Okay, sir. Means any reference we can take.
Yes, because energy, please remember, you can define absolute kinetic energy in one sense, but you cannot define absolute potential energy. There is nothing called as absolute potential energy. Potential is always defined with respect to something. Okay, so we are talking about, when we are talking about E here, it is the potential energy of electrons. Okay, so potential energy, obviously you have to choose some reference. Okay, and that is your choice for now. Okay, we'll get into what we choose, what we usually choose as a reference later on. We have not covered that till now, so you can choose anything. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Anybody else? No? Okay then. Thank you. We'll continue on Monday. Bye-bye.